love how Steven Jondrew now has a tweet called "My Intense Fear of Being Pregnant."
The following podcast is part of the GonnaGeek network. The opinions expressed may not represent other podcasts or affiliates of GonnaGeek. Check out more podcasts at GonnaGeek.com. And now get ready, because geekness starts in 3, 2, 1.
In a world where four friends find themselves on a quest to unite geeks everywhere. Hold on a second.
That's better. Welcome to the official GonnaGeek.com podcast. What type of podcast are we? Simply put, we're a few friends who enjoy talking about geeky things, and we want to share that with you. We feature a panel of hosts covering a variety of topics from sci-fi to comics, gaming to tech, and of course, a bunch of other random geekiness. We're always looking for your suggestions, so feel free to email podcast@GonnaGeek.com, tweet us at GonnaGeek, or write us on our Facebook at facebook.com/GonnaGeek. Now, let me introduce you to the hosts for this half-hour ride. Myself, Steven Jondrew. Some might call me wishy-wash. Joining me is Jean-Sebastien.
You're gonna edit my testes.
Chris Farrell.
You're just upset Steve Jobs won't let you get porn apps on the iPhone. I know how it is.
And John D, a.k.a. Wing.
I am Groot.
All right, it's time to get geeky. Welcome to episode number 35 of the GonnaGeek.com podcast. My name is Steven Jondrew, and we are almost all here today. We, of course, are shy one member. Why is that? Because I believe JS was onto something when he said that the world is about to die, because we have all gone through a significant amount of plagues in the last 4 weeks. So definitely the world is about to end, so you can spend it listening to the GonnaGeek podcast. But just because John is missing, yeah, that's right, he's the one with the plague, doesn't mean that we don't have somebody filling his seat. He is the man that is practically
Filling his seat.
The man that we have filling John's seat is SP. What's going on, SP?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Man, you just, I think I'm just going to add you on the box at the top corner of the site now. You've just been here so much. I think you beat JS in appearances.
Probably, as we mentioned last week on WTWD, I'm the utility infielder of the GonnaGeek network.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. If you like SP's voice and you need to listen more, check out the latest WTWD at walkingthewalkingdead.com or actually GonnaGeekNetwork.com. Check it out. And SP and I had some good old-fashioned arguing.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Disagreed about
that's surprising.
I'm surprised he got off the fence long enough to argue.
I did threaten to go back to clear on him.
Oh.
Fine.
Was he all wishy-washy on you and shit?
No, he was just wrong the whole. He was just wrong the whole episode, and I'm right.
Wrong, or was I wrongly wrong? Which means I was right. Take that.
What the hell does that? No, that's
Trying
stupid.
to make two negatives make a positive. It's just not going to work.
That's stupid. You
See,
lose.
Well, that's true. It's kind of why I have you and Chris on here. Two negatives, put them together, try to make a positive.
No.
Doesn't
Say
work.
bag. Say bag.
All right, let's
BC
get.
people have problems to say the word bag.
Why do we have a problem saying bag?
I don't know. You guys say bag.
What do you mean? I say bag.
Can I have a bag?
A bag?
Bag. Okay. Bag.
A bag? What the hell is that? I say a
man.
bag.
You guys all have that weird accent when you say bag.
What are you talking about?
Us have a weird accent? The Canadian is saying us has a weird accent?
No. The French Canadian. Let's get that right, okay?
Motherfucker, we were here first, okay? So shut your mouth.
Go back to France.
Canada is America's hat.
Where
US
they get all the money, like the magicians.
Let's not forget that the US is Canada's underpants. Okay.
The Vikings left their rune stone in Alexandria, Minnesota, not Canada. Huh, take that.
That's true. I like them apples.
Oh, yeah. By the way, how do you guys like silver? I hear that's a good color on you.
They were in Nova Scotia.
Why'd you cut me off? I just made an awesome silver comment, JS.
But that's
Fuck
not
you.
where the runestone was.
All right, let's get to the geeky topics. Here we go.
You're listening to the GonnaGeek podcast, but the choice is yours. You can GonnaGeek, or you can get with that. You can GonnaGeek, or you can get with that. You can GonnaGeek, or you can get with that. You can GonnaGeek, because this is where it's at. Do da dippity.
First up on the list this week, we had the guest host, SP, bring in something that was supposed to... It was actually a gift for JS, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. JS, it set you up really good. You were talking last week about how radiation from Japan was going to kill us all.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, apparently radiation from New Mexico is going to kill us all now, too.
Oh, what happened in New Mexico?
I blame
Like
Walter White.
The storage tank of the radiation nuclear material in our nuclear central Los Alamos area down there is leaking.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a storage tank, and if I'm not mistaken, it's way underground, and I can't imagine how long this stuff's actually been leaking or whatever. But there's that going on, and as well, I saw a story tonight on the National American News about how the cesium from Japan is hitting our shores by April, I believe.
Of course. It's very bad. People look up a picture of the power plant prior to the accident and afterwards. You'll see there's miles and miles of water containers to contain the radioactive water that they're using to cool.
Can we just spend some time, cracking down on the safety of all these, nuclear-based devices? Like maybe we could just sort of kind of protect our planet a little bit more about that. Because I'm not going to get all hippie or let's watch how many garbage cans we fill and stuff. But okay, nuclear radiation bad. We can all agree on that.
Just a bit.
No, it's good. Screw you guys.
So come on, somebody spend some time developing some safety protocols, or at least, give me a radiation suit. Even if it's one that just is a costume like the Back to the Future one, I'll believe it. It's mind over matter, right?
You want to be a bubble boy like Wing?
Oh, dear.
Oh, Wing. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you and your violent diarrhea.
Shouldn't sleep with pigs.
Is that the voice of experience there?
Oh, wow.
Shouldn't. It's not good.
I know. I always get messages from you guys, and it's always JS and John texting each other saying, hey, let's go out Friday. So if he's sleeping with pigs, what are you doing while he's sleeping with pigs?
Your mom?
Oh.
Ooh, got him. Chris is the only one that I know who can still make a mom joke work. So for that, I tip my hat, Chris.
Make your mom work.
This is not a podcast. Who listens to the show?
Stephen's mom, I'm so sorry.
Ask for your money back. Oh, wait, you don't pay for shit.
I'm sorry, listeners. I'll be good now.
It's okay. Somehow, though, Chris, in between, sleeping with my mom, you did manage to buy an Xbox and try it out, right?
Oh,
I did.
I was going to make a comment, but I'll leave it out.
Poor JS, he missed the comment.
So tell listeners a little bit about that.
So I did my taxes this weekend, and I got a bigger return than I was expecting from the tax man. So I decided I would celebrate by going to go buy an Xbox One because I wanted to play Titanfall.
Oh, wow.
And I did get the Xbox One. Titanfall doesn't come out until next month.
But if you waited, you would have gotten Titanfall for free.
Exactly. This is what JS is realizing now. I bought it on Saturday. On Monday, the news comes out that Microsoft is doing a bundle of an Xbox One that comes with Titanfall for free.
Bring it back.
I don't care at this point.
How are you liking it so far? Because I know you at one point, didn't you have a PS3 or PS4 pre-order?
No, I had an Xbox One pre-order and I just canceled it because there's nothing I really wanted coming around that time.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So far, I like it. I've only been playing Assassin's Creed 4 and a little bit of Dead Rising 3, so I haven't gotten to do much yet. But what I thought I'd really like was the TV integration until I actually did it, and the pass-through sucks. The colors are all washed out, and your HD picture quality goes down on the TV. So I ended up putting it on a separate input because it was just pissing me off that I'd try and watch something and it looked like shit.
I have to admit, I've always had issues with pass-throughs and because of that, I tend to operate separately. Well,
I
except
think
for
it's a mixed issue from
my
what people have been saying. Some people don't have issues, some people do. I think it depends on who your cable provider is and the TV you're feeding to. But like, I even did the HD TV configuration that they have on there that's supposed to clean things up, and it just looked bad. But the rumor is there's a patch coming out that's supposed to fix some of that. So in the meantime, what I did is I'm just buying an HDMI splitter. I'm going to split the signal coming off of my cable box so that I can still snap the Xbox TV stuff on if I want when I'm playing a game.
Just tip from experience, get a powered one.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at doing, was getting a powered one. But so far, it's a fun experience. I like the gameplay. It's kind of cool when I had it with the TV to walk in and be like, hey, Xbox, watch ESPN, and it would change the channel, stuff like that, or Xbox, watch TV. It's really kind of cool that Skype's built in there, so I could end up like chatting with people on Skype when I'm playing a game. And they did announce today, actually, that Twitch.tv's Xbox One app will go live on March 11th, so that Xbox One gamers can stream directly to Twitch.
Oh, very cool.
And what's so cool on this one is Sony built their own app on the PS4, and it's kind of half broken. It doesn't allow people to like archive their stream and save things, and it doesn't work as well. But Twitch developed one for the Xbox One, and one of the coolest features they have in there is if you're watching someone play and they're on an Xbox One, you can send them an invite to join their game, and then you can be pulled into the game instead of watching the stream and play with them.
That's pretty cool.
That's
That's
really
a good feature.
I think for Titanfall, that's going to be a big deal.
So do you think that this was a result of everybody paying for their Xbox Live membership and Microsoft being able to actually fund some of these developments where Sony does not?
No, you have to pay for PS4 now to have online capability.
That's good. I'm glad that they finally did that, because
I think the difference here is Sony rushed it to be able to have Twitch on there at launch, because it's an ever-growing market. People go on there and streaming their games and things like that. And Microsoft kind of saved it, and I think in their press conference they said there's a reason we held this off so you could have a true next-gen experience on a next-gen console, when they're really hanging their hat on the fact that you can go and join someone else's game that's streaming, and it's really kind of cool. And it's really simple to start the broadcast process. Once you have an account, you literally just go Xbox Broadcast. And
It's
like
going to be
that.
amazing to go troll people.
Yes, it is. It is. But I'm pretty happy with the Xbox One so far. I've only got 2 games, so there's that. But I'm looking forward to some of the stuff coming in the future, like Watch Dogs and Titanfall. Those are the 2 games I'm the most excited for, and Titanfall's only like 3 weeks away.
Sweet. Well, I can't wait to hear more of your experience with that so that I can end up buying mine. I won't get a tax refund because I have rental income and crap like that. So,
You guys have taxes up in Canada?
yeah, we do. It's
We're taxed at 53% if we make any money.
Damn.
Wow.
yeah, take that. Snap.
Well, you take that. Snap.
Speaking of taking it, apparently some people are going to have to take it from the government, right, JS?
Oh, it's not the government that's suing. Not at all. Actually, the government's trying to stop it.
Oh, okay. Well, then fix my segue.
So this is actually pretty cool. So Voltage Pictures, the people who brought you Hurt Locker, that other some other stuff, some other stuff. They sued a well, I don't know if the word sued is appropriate, but they sued. I guess it's a lawsuit. So
they pursued legal action.
Yeah, they pursued legal action against TechSavvy, which is an ISP in Ontario, to get the names of, I believe, 2,000 or 200. I'm not 100% sure. The information seems to change all over the place. I'm looking here. It's saying 1,000. Anyway, they're looking for a large amount of names of people who've downloaded these movies that they've made. And the government permitted, well, so this is, again, the information is not 100% clear, because TechSavvy was interviewed on the radio this morning and said that they're actually going to fight it and make sure that the private information of their customers is not shared. And the government said, if ever, because they did this in the States and they were very aggressive, and they were forcing people to resolve their issues or the lawsuit outside of courts. And from what I understand, they were asking for big money. So Canada, the government of Canada said, if ever this does go through, any letter that you're going to send to anybody must pass in front of a judge and be approved.
Well, and some of the American listeners may be going, this doesn't sound that new, but what you might not know is in Canada, the laws have been very much in the favor of consumer privacy, to the point that it has almost been a free-for-all for a very long time. And part of it is built up with some things that were implemented, and actually Canada being early adopters for downloading things like that. Like, there was a whole controversy because for a while on Blank Media, they were charging an artist fee because of the downloading, and because of that, when, you know, companies tried to come back, the music industry tried to come back in Canada about the downloading, they're like, well, no, you already had your cake. Right, like here exactly. It is. So then there was some archive laws that came into place when it came to downloading video, and just a bunch of conflicting stuff. They have been making some changes over the last 6 to 12 months, but so far this is really the first big attempt in Canada to try to get some information.
And word is that it's actually they're going to fight it. They're probably going to continue fighting it, and Tech Savvy's actually going to push to fight it. Again, like, I don't know if you're aware, I've been talking about this in the past, but in Canada, there's a lot of, I guess, wishy-washy rules about what's permitted and what's not, and there's some what's called sampling rules and so on and so forth. I guess, Stephen.
Well, explain to know all about wishy-washy.
That's no, me.
So they're gonna fight it, which is pretty cool. I'm very impressed, and I'm actually quite happy to see that the government's straight up saying, look, if this goes through and it does happen, anything you do that's gonna be considered attack towards a citizen has to go through in front of a judge, which is amazing.
Are you quite impressed, JS, or are you quite relieved? Which one?
I'll be real honest. I'm very relieved, but I'm relieved for other reasons, because some people brought up some really good points. There's no laws about, in Canada, let's say you're 9 people in a residence and your name's on the bill, and people download or do other things on your bill. In the States, you're responsible. You're responsible. So that if you did not download something and one of your roommates did, you are liable for that. So in Canada, that's not established yet. The only time that is established is it's for child pornography. If ever, say, somebody is war torrenting or war driving on your Wi-Fi, for example, because you didn't lock your Wi-Fi, you will be held liable. But it doesn't work for downloaded content in Canada. That law is not. The laws are not. They're in the favor of the plaintiff. No, the
defendant,
accused, I guess. Yeah, defendant or whatever.
And that was Legal Talk with JS.
Well, yeah, it's really a gray area, but it's nice to see that. Like I said, Tech Savvy's just saying no, we're gonna fight this until we're forced to do it.
Good for him.
Yeah. Even here in America, the times that have it has happened where legal notices have been sent out and there's been settlements out of court or even in court, I am only aware of that being for movies. I'm not aware of that being for like television shows. Now, I could be wrong about that, but
I think you're right. I've never heard anybody get in trouble for television shows, and I think the reason behind that is because the TiVo laws, or when TiVo came out, they changed the laws on how copying a TV show. I'm not 100% sure. Might be wrong on what I'm saying, but I think it has something to do with that.
Yeah,
but in the movies, it's been somewhere between $10,000 and $50,000 a copy that people have been sued over.
So stupid.
Yeah, so that's exactly. So Voltage did that amount was reported in the article that I read, and you can also do a lot of prison time in the States. Yeah. I don't know how that you get the feds get convinced to that, but you can be put in jail for up to 5 years.
Did you hear about the woman that had to go to prison because she didn't return a movie of
Blockbuster or something?
Yeah, it was
Monster-in-Law.
Monster-in-Law, yeah. Because she had an outstanding warrant that they took before the video company went under. So, so stupid. But one thing I wanted to give a shout out here, because I know we're getting a little bit longer in time, but I wanted to give a comment here about something that has been rumored for 2 or 3 years, And it has finally been announced WhatsApp was acquired by Facebook. Now, WhatsApp is quite a popular messaging app. It is one that is still regularly getting lots and lots of users because of how simple it integrates to your phone and how well it works. Now, I have actually backed off on my WhatsApp use. Big problem being that I don't like that I can only use the Messenger from my phone. I prefer to use things like Google Hangouts or My SMS where I can, text from my computer or from my tablet, things like that. But WhatsApp is still a very, very popular service amongst a lot of people. So we'll see what happens. Do you think, Chris, what do you think? You think that it's going to work towards integration with Facebook Messenger, or what do you think?
I think Facebook's trying to find a way to expand their brand so that when the whole Facebook thing goes like MySpace, they have something that exists still. But it's kind of interesting to watch everyone migrate to new messenger apps when Facebook acquires them.
They're also going to they're going to monetize it by advertising.
And that's one of the big things WhatsApp was against, was advertising and stuff.
Yeah, Facebook's going to make a lot. It's going to make a lot of money this year. I think they've also started. Last year was a good year for them for mobile. They made a lot of mobile advertising money.
Well, and
they did.
Yeah, let's be honest here. If people are using an application as their main messenger, and no matter how much they push it down their throat, Facebook Messenger doesn't do that. It's a good opportunity for them to get some data, which then translates into advertising dollars. You got to be careful, right? The man is watching over your shoulder, right, JS?
The man is always watching over your shoulder. Stuff is dangerous.
And SP, you had something else you wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah, it just bugs me. Continuum, which is my favorite show on TV. I know some of you all don't like it on this podcast, but I think it's some of the best TV around. It's entering into season 3 here in March of 2014 in Canada, but here in America, we have to wait till April for the premiere. What's up with that? I mean, they're not going to...
BBC.
It's
BBC,
sci-fi.
man.
It's the exact same thing that happened with season 1 of Battlestar Galactica. So everyone in America pirated it.
But yeah, exactly. They're just ruining the ratings by doing that. Doctor Who learned its lesson on BBC, right? They simulcast the 50th around the world at the same time.
Yeah, but Sci-Fi Channel doesn't care.
Obviously.
But Continuum is a Canadian product, right? Like a production.
Yeah, it's on Space Network or whatever you guys call it.
Yeah,
up there.
we got Space.
Space.
So, that's interesting. Thank you, whoever's in charge of that. Defending the Canadian flag. Oh, yeah, wave it proud. Yeah, salute. Woo.
Well, I mean, after all,
ratings.
We don't care. See, our Canadian productions, we anticipate that they're only going to be within Canada, and then anything outside of that is all gravy for the companies, right? Just the way it goes. We know that our productions tend to suck. I can admit it.
Why, if you're going to simulcast it anyway on a network in a different country, why not do it the same day? Okay, maybe not the same time, but do it the same day.
It is interesting. I will say that because when the shoe's on the other foot, like there's always almost always a Canadian carrier that will release on the same day. Like technically, CW's Arrow, the Canadian rights are with CTV, I think it is. But if you get CW, then you also get it through that channel. But regardless, if you didn't, CTV always has it on the same day and the same time. So I do see that. But on the other hand, I want to give you another example. Anger Management, the FX show, we don't get that till like 6 months later. So it does. I guess it works both ways.
It's not really a loss.
Yeah, I don't watch it, but it was just one that came to mind. So
it has to do with distributions, man. It's as simple as that. It's when the show's produced, the people who prepay for the show, so the TV stations, they say, okay, well, I'm going to give you this much money, but for me to give you this much money, we want exclusivity. It's as simple as that.
And who's the carrier in the States?
Sci-Fi.
Yeah, blame them.
Or is it Siffy? Still chaps my ass. They changed the name of that channel.
Right.
Well, who cares? Who cares? Whatever. But one last thing that we should talk about before we move to the Geek Back. Bit of sad news that came out this week, right, Chris?
There is. It just happened. I think it was yesterday. You guys might be familiar with comedy legend Harold Ramis. He passed away yesterday.
Aw.
Did a ton of movies. He wrote Animal House. He was in the Ghostbusters movies. Wrote and was in Stripes, I believe. He's a comedic legend from the 80s and 90s, and he has now passed away.
Mhm.
And it's a sad thing. There's some really cool tributes that are going on, like the Firehouse in New York City that they filmed Ghostbusters in. It's still a firehouse. They hung a Ghostbusters sign out front, which was kind of cool.
Wow. And you know, on the Ghostbusters front, I read an interview today saying that this secures that there will not be a Ghostbusters movie. But
I heard
Oh,
the exact
no way.
opposite, actually.
really,
The Hollywood Reporter is saying that Aykroyd is going to go forward on it, and that basically he was only going to have a cameo role only, so they'll make some reference to him, but that they are still planning on doing Ghostbusters 3.
interesting. I wish I remembered who it was that had said that. It was one.
What's his name? Bill Murray said he wouldn't do it.
Bill Murray is always said
It was Ernie Hudson actually that was adamant that there won't be another installment. But
That's the fourth guy, right?
yeah,
The Twinkie dude.
The guy that's never done anything else afterwards, right?
right.
he was on
But
Heroes, I think, for a little while. Not that that means anything.
He was in Aliens, wasn't he?
I don't remember.
we'll
That
see.
just shows we know who he is. Like,
Okay, so I'm glad to see there's some conflicting information on that because I still think another Ghostbusters could be good, especially if they played a bit of tribute to him. So
that movie's gonna get rebooted. Simple, easy, simple like that.
well, that
Yeah,
was
it's just
the
like a-
idea of it, but yeah,
Yeah, this is supposed to be like a soft reboot with Ghostbusters: The Next Generation, and they'd kind of hand off the torch, is my understanding.
exactly.
Now they'll just
Like
do the hard
Marvel
reboot,
did.
probably.
This is the GonnaGeek Podcast, the only podcast regularly downloaded by Tony Stark.
And this week's highlight from the website comes from our newest addition to the GonnaGeek family. Chris, why don't you tell the listeners all about it?
I love it when he gives me these blind setups and I'm not ready. So no.
You
It'd
suck.
be nice. It'd be nice if his sister was hot and he hooked you up with it like that. Like, just hey, here's my sister. Go out. Be like, yeah, cool.
Jenny
no
wrote
problem.
this awesome article about 10 sci-fi gadgets that you can buy right in the here and now. I read this article. Some of the things I was like, that's pretty neat. Didn't know that. Some of the stuff I was like, hey, I knew it, but this is a different manufacturer. Like it wasn't Google Glasses. I forget who it was, but somebody else is making that technology. So it's a very informative article. I'm looking forward to reading more of Jenny's stuff in the future.
Thank you for picking that up, SP, after Chris decided to douche out about it. So,
That's because Chris hasn't read the article yet, so he can't talk about it.
once again, double douche right there, double douche. But no, yeah, Jennifer Birch is the latest writer, and check it out. Yeah, definitely a very neat article. It's called "The Future Is Here: 10 Sci-Fi Gadgets That You Can Buy Right Now."
And where do I find that, Steven?
You can go ahead and do that at GonnaGeek.com, and you can also, while you're there, check out all of the other awesome podcasts which are part of the GonnaGeek podcast family. That's easy way to get to that's at GonnaGeekNetwork.com. So check out everything there. Really great talent, and make sure you subscribe to all of the GonnaGeek Network podcasts, including the Starling Tribune, which features Mr. Chris Farrell and Mr. Stargate Pioneer. Right, SP?
Yeah, absolutely.
What the hell
Love the
happened to that
podcast.
show? It's not even the same people.
No, it's you'll have to listen to find out. It's a hybrid between SP and John, and between Chris and John. But I don't mention John when he's not here, just so that he can get irritated when he listens to this podcast later.
Guess
And
what? You just
also-
mentioned John.
Ah, damn it! Foiled again.
And also Jay from the Gallifrey Public Radio is on too.
Oh, when did he come on? I'm a few episodes behind.
He hasn't aired yet, but he's been recording season 1 with us now. Too.
I mean, I'm all caught up. Yep.
I would just like to comment that somebody very cool commented on the fact that he enjoys the fact that I argue and complain about everything because it makes him want to come on the show and listen to me and argue about the fact that I'm wrong.
Don't know who
But
that
you-
is,
so-
but there was lots of someone in there, somebody and someone's.
So you are admitting that you're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong, but he thinks I am.
So anybody got any final plugs or comments or just general life thoughts, Chris?
I got nothing, dudes.
SP?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to plug a brand new podcast I launched this week.
Go ahead.
Voices of Defiance. It's a podcast that I'm doing with Sean, who is also on Legends. And we're getting together with his wife, Shannon, to podcast about the television show and video game Defiance. It's going to be, it's going to be a seasonal podcast. So we're going to podcast when the show's on, maybe a few on the game in the off season, but we're just having a lot of fun going over season 1 right now in preparation for the season 2 premiere in June.
Oh, wow, season 2 got greenlit? That's awesome.
I didn't know that.
Where can the listeners find that?
That is at voicesofdefiance.com, or it's also been approved on iTunes.
Very cool. Very cool. JS, anything you want to plug?
Can we plug your mom again?
I didn't say
Bob's taking a pounding this episode.
Really? You guys, SP set you up perfectly. One of you two needed to hop in there. Come on, you guys
that was good on its own, man.
And the French-Canadian sensation strikes again.
Well, for the GonnaGeek.com podcast, I am miserable.
I'm laughing my ass off.
I'm Stargate Pioneer.
And I'm the French-Canadian sensation.
Bye. From all of us here at the GonnaGeek podcast, thanks for listening. If you like what you've heard, please write us a 5-star review in iTunes. Want to chime in? Tweet us at GonnaGeek, email podcast@GonnaGeek.com, or like us at Facebook.com/GonnaGeek. Make sure you check out some of the other awesome podcasts which are part of the GonnaGeek network at GonnaGeek.com/network. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.